quick note before we hop right into this devlog, we have hidden 2 more Steam game keys somewhere in this video, and it's a bit easier than last devlogs, so happy hunting. In addition, we have been hosting a giveaway since the last devlog and it has finally come to a close. For the announcement on who won the giveaway, please click on the link below and join our Discord. We will also be reaching out to the winners to get you guys your assets that you have won. Finally, if you guys are interested in supporting our project, we do have a Patreon in the description below, so go check it out if you are interested. And with all of that nonsense out of the way, let's hop straight into the devlog. So in the last devlog, we got the basics of the AI movement ready, and thankfully it only took a whole month. So let's get right into the new AI system I have been cooking up for the last 2 weeks. First things first is that I actually decided to remove the FOV, which you may ask is kinda dumb of me because you're kind of removing a working feature, but honestly I just did not want to work with the AI when I have to worry about if the player can be seen by the AI. So I was like nah, and I disabled it and added a pretty simple distance check just so I wouldn't have to fiddle around with the extra layer of FOV. After getting that FOV done, the next day I kinda just wanted to get the AI to just see how it is, just get a baseline for how the AI plays, and I realized that the combos were just not cutting it, no pun intended. They didn't flow the way I wanted them to, and it made no sense that these 2 animations would be the combos. So after going through Mixamo, I found the correct combo animation and just kind of yoinked it. After getting this animation in game, you can just tell it plays a lot better in the flow, and personally I love it a lot. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and what other type of attack animations we should add. Now let's get into that juicy part. I really hated that the AI just kind of walks up to the player and just starts swinging. It just never felt quite right. I couldn't place my finger on it at that moment, but I recently started a playthrough of Breath of the Wild again, and I hopped on that and I wanted to see how the AI interacted with the player. The first thing I did notice is that they were performing a jump slash down attack. I don't really know what you call it, but they jump up in the air and they slash the ground, so I call it the jump slash down attack. And I instantly knew that attack would make the AI feel so much better and make it seem like it's making decisions. So after finding the right animation, I was able to just get the behavior tree to play that animation when the AI was in between a certain distance, and it went extremely well. But currently it kind of just did the attack every single time it was in between those distances, so it wasn't the best solution. So after getting the rough system for AI in, I remembered in my old AI that they would actually roll up to the player when they were getting ready to attack. That was probably my favorite part of the AI. Probably the only part I actually liked, so I took the system and refactored it all with one major redesign in mind. I didn't want to just do a roll when they were about to attack, I wanted them to be able to switch between a roll and a run state when chasing the player. So after squashing a few, and when I mean a few, probably a few hours at least of bugs, and I was finally able to get the AI to roll and perform a jump attack at the correct times. So after being able to get all of those things done, I wanted to implement a few more features, but I was only able to implement one more thing before this devlog, and that was the ability for the AI to walk backwards after doing an attack. This seems so trivial, but this made the AI feel a lot smarter overall, because instead of the AI just standing 2 inches away from the player after attacking, it would actually start to slowly walk backwards. This also works perfectly if the player starts to get too close to the AI, it starts to walk backwards slowly too. It's not so much that you won't ever be able to hit the AI, but it makes it feel a bit more alive. Honestly, this took me 1 hot minute to get right because I needed to make sure the AI would walk backwards and be able to cancel out of that and perform an attack if necessary. But with some hard work and dedication, and especially Google, I was able to get it all working properly. So I didn't just spend 2 weeks working on the AI, but I also added in a visual indicator for when the player got hit. I haven't had this in the game just yet because I was honestly working on more important features at the time, but it started to bother me, so I got it implemented pretty quickly. Currently, when the player gets hit, it plays this animation and the player is unable to get out of that animation until about 80% of it has played. So I have another question for our awesome community. Should the player be able to override the attack animation, or should they be punished and the whole animation, or about 80% of it, should be played until they can get out? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. So I know the last devlog we had some awesome models to showcase, and I did state that this devlog would have some awesome reveals too, and boy do I say awesome a lot. First off, Excelsius did more work on creating a model that I'm really feeling. The idea for this enemy would be that they are smaller, shorter, and just overall fatter than the original orc, but they would be quicker and have no health to balance it all out. So I present to you guys the Orkling. This is probably one of my favorite models in the game. I just love short, fat little characters, and I'm just loving this thing. We have some more awesome plans to do with this model, but I don't want to spoil anything just yet. In addition, Perforator did continue on that treehouse building from the last devlog, though it isn't fully finished just yet. I did want to show you guys what he did stop at, and sadly he did message me saying that he wanted to take a break from modeling, but I completely understand. We all need a break sometimes. Hopefully he'll be back and kicking very soon. And on that note, I wanted to thank everyone for tuning in. I hope you guys found your keys and are enjoying the games that you guys got, and in the next devlog, watch out for some awesome new AI developments just like this week, and hopefully finally we'll be able to get into Wise. And on that final note, I've said that already, I wanted to thank our awesome patrons again this month. Let's give a huge thank you to Tofster and Token. They have been an awesome help for this project. Not only them, but Inconspicuous, Max, Munchier, Michael, and a huge thank you to Dennis, our newest Patreon. You guys have been such a help in development, and we wanted to thank you guys for supporting us and giving us the ability to do the giveaway we just did. And on that, thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next devlog. Goodbye.